Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Factions 101. I'm your host, High Top, and I apologize. I said last episode that these were going to be weekly. Now starts summer. Spoiler alert, they haven't been. However, I'm back all of summer now because for the last couple weeks I've been out and about, traveling, all that type of jazz. But I'm here now, and here's a video. But this video might be a little different because basically I'm not going to be really talking about any of the smaller comp servers, all the stuff that's happened there over the last couple weeks, just frankly because it's irrelevant at this point. I am going to be talking about the two main servers, the previous labs map and the current Minecadia map, and then some other stuff as well as the power rankings, of course. But let's get straight into things. I'm going to cover the PvP labs last map first. So this was the map between Falcon and Meatheads. Jumping straight into it, funny enough, none of them won. Basically what happened is Meatheads got raided by Falcon. I covered that in my last video, but that happened, which kind of wiped them from F-top qualification. But then Falcon ended up getting DQ'd. So basically what happened there is that there was a ton of like different, violations and other stuff, a lot of bans and some other weird things that led to their DQ. Basically, there was a poll one of the last days of the map between the staff team, and they decided to DQ Falcon. Alright, so basically what ended up happening after that is a faction called Rangas, which is, a lot of the actual old Rangas kids are playing in that faction. And basically, they found themselves at F-top 1. After the DQ of Falcon, Rangas found themselves at F-top 1. And the last day was really consisted of a bunch of stuff happening with Meatheads trying to raid Rangas to try and win the map. What ended up happening is, all of Falcon pretty much joined Rangas and helped defend them last day. Say what you want about it, if you should have been allowed or not, it happened. And that was what, was going on. So they were, Meatheads were not able to raid Rangas last day, but there was also a little mishap with some clients. I'm not really going to go into it too much. But if you know what I'm talking about, then obviously you'll know, what's going on, and that's in that case. But yeah, so all that stuff happened. Meatheads just were not able to pull anything off to, win that map. So the map ended with Rangas winning F-top and Meatheads winning PvP top. All right, now moving into this most current, Cadia map that is going on right now. There's been a decent bit of stuff that's been going on there. First of all, it's Avengers, which is kind of like mostly soapy time against randoms. And so basically right now, as I'm recording this, Avengers is ahead of randoms in value. So they've recently just passed them in value, but randoms still have a very big points gap. And so there's a week left of grace. This map could really go either way. If Avengers can really keep a value lead, then this could really turn around for Avengers. But regardless, there's some events this weekend. Citadel Conquest, I believe, a raid event. All that type of stuff could really alter how this map goes if Avengers is able to win most of those. Besides that, though, there hasn't been too much going on with the map. At the very beginning, it looked like Avengers might actually fold, like completely quit the map. Basically, they lost a lot of their players. They're referred to as the PEPPA kids. Most of them have affiliations to PEPPA. Regardless, they all left Avengers for multiple reasons and joined randoms, and this was basically the map over. The map was finished, but they ended up joining back to Avengers. I'm not really sure what happened with all of that scenarios, but they joined back, and that revived the map because not saying too much, but the map probably would have not really had much comp after that. But now where the map is now is big comp. It's very competitive. I think randoms have it's like a 350 man Discord, and I believe Avengers have like a 250 man Discord. So I mean, these are a lot of players playing to try and win this map. And from next week's episode, TNT will be enabling just about the time this will be releasing next week. And so that's when it'll really pick up, and we'll see if anything can happen. There's some new details on Cadia that someone might get raided. You never know. I haven't seen it on Cadia, frankly, like ever. But to say the least, the details now do help the case of someone getting raided. Alright, now moving into a familiar topic, I'm going to be talking about Skid. Yes, I've talked about him almost every single Factions 101 episode. there's more things that came out today, and I have or not today, but this week, and I have a response from Skid concerning some of the stuff. So I'm going to throw up some screenshots right now of basically what he's being accused with. Basically, same thing that we've kind of been talking about the last couple weeks. Basically, DDoSing, crashing servers, yada yada yada, like all that type of stuff. And this is from one of his I think it was managers on MC Wars that he was managing with. He basically either resigned, I think he resigned, and kind of posted these screenshots. And so obviously you can see there's some IP stuff. There's Skid talking about crashing servers. It's just overall just doesn't look good. Again, it doesn't look good. But I have a response from Skid himself, going over all of these. Basically, he's kind of saying, I'm going to try and sum this up as much as I can. But basically, he's saying that they were all taken out of context. Might be hard to believe, might not. But regardless, he's saying they were all taken out of context, and that RizX, the manager who kind of posted these screenshots, was actually the malicious one here. To go over all of these at once, Skid is saying that one of them was basically he was actually going after a server that Bedcovers owned, which is called Estonia MC right now, I believe. He was trying to get rid of them because they were taking his setup and making money off of it without asking him. So, the ethics of that, I don't know. But regardless, that's his reason for doing what he did. And then the next one is him talking about crashing servers, which this is a kind of an interesting response. Basically, he said he was teaching RizX how to crash servers. So he said he had RizX go around servers and crash them to teach him how it works and how servers go down to help prevent it against MC Wars. Again, if that's true, the ethics, not great. And then the next one is talking about a booter, with IP, stuff like that. Basically, he said that there was an attack on Liquid MC, and it was actually done by RizX. It was by a RizX who supposedly did this attack. Not sure about that. I have no idea. I'm just purely stating what Skid said here. But he's saying that RizX was the one who actually did it, and that he did it to show Liquid what they needed. Basically, after this attack happened to Liquid MC, he talked to Ravek, the owner of Liquid MC, and basically helped him get some TCP shield and DDoS protection. So, I guess it ended up in a good way, but the whole basis of it getting attacked in the first place is just odd. Personally, it's just odd. All right, now moving on from Skid himself, this still involves him, but it's going into RizX. Once again, this is purely Skid's words from himself. Basically, he's saying that RizX was actually doing a lot of malicious stuff as well. And so basically, he was saying that he was trying to take down HellMC by sending Skid his panel URL, which was by Cloudflare. And he wanted to basically make an API key to grab databases. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so if this doesn't make sense, I apologize. But I'm just saying what's in front of me, okay? Apparently, RizX was also given Desecrate MC files that were given to him by CallMe2S. Apparently, he has player data there. He was demoted from it because of this, I think. And but he has the IPs, so if you played Desecrate, think about changing your IP. Basically, Skid is also saying he's going to take legal action about these cyber crimes, and so that is kind of the last thing that Skid had to say, basically. All right, now moving on to some upcoming maps. I'm just going to cover one, which is Factions Nordic on PvP Labs. Basically, that's releasing today, as this video is hopefully releasing. It's releasing today. The suspected comp is Violent versus a, Falcon, Pluto type of thing. It was originally just supposed to be pure Pluto, but they kind of folded and fell off the face of the earth. And so now it's mostly Falcon. The faction called Regenbots, I believe. Which, I don't know why that's called that, but, it is what it is. But I believe NASCAR is kind of part of that, little merge as well. So, that's the main comp. And then recently, as of yesterday, excuse my, words here, but Beaners are playing. No, I'm not referring to the race. I'm referring to the faction. But they're supposed to be playing, so it'd be pretty cool if there was a 1v1v1 map going on Nordic. Nordic's supposed to be, very kind of old style factions, old comp. It's supposed to kind of just be like, what everybody enjoyed a handful of years ago. So there will be updates on that in next week's episode. All right, now moving into the power rankings. I'm not going to lie, I had no idea what to do with these because, Meatheads loses, Falcon gets DQ'd, Randoms are playing right now. They're winning, but, they're down in value. Avengers is doing really well. I really just, I think all four of these could be, just in any way. Really the three. I think Meatheads is at the end of the list there because, they did lose the most recent map. But I think, Avengers, Randoms, and Falcon could be in any, order per se. But we're going to start with Meatheads at number 5. Yes, this kills me, but, I think it's, deserved and right. So I think Meatheads at being at number 5. Yes, they dominated a lot of aspects. They won PvP top by a mile. They were, they were raiding really well at the end of the map. But, facts are facts. They lost the map. And so, I'm going to put them at number 5. And basically, that's what it is. Meatheads will have a chance to, bring this ranking up later. I don't think, me being their leader, we're not really planning on playing another map until the next Exodus. So, don't be surprised if Meatheads fall out of the top 5 next week. But then at number 4, I'm going to include IRA. Now, this is, I didn't cover any of the small comp, servers that were going on. Basically, I'm going to put them here because they've been very consistent with the maps they've won. I believe they played a recent MC Wars map that was, had some help from, like, violent people, but, it's, I'm pretty sure it's claimed as IRA. But basically, they won that, beat some decent comp. But I'm going to put them at number 4 ahead of Meatheads. And then at number 3, I'm going to put Avengers. Yes, I'm putting Avengers here now because they have recently overtaken Randoms on value, but they haven't, taken them on F-top, the actual thing that matters. So I'm going to put them there now because, pure basis of the map right now, Randoms is better than them. So I'm going to put Avengers at number 3. Avengers has a very good roster, to say the least. Like, they really... I think they should win the map. They have the best players. I don't think there's really any denying that. They just have a very good roster. It's just a matter of how well they're going to be able to work together. And now at number 2, I'm going to put Falcon. Yes, Falcon, people could say that, they were, DQ'd and all that. But, Falcon, in my eyes, deserve that map win. I understand why they were DQ'd, and I agree with the DQ. But I think they deserve to be recognized for, what they were able to do with that map. Meatheads were on a killing spree, per se. They were winning every single map for, honestly, the last, 8 months. And Falcon was the first faction to really, take them down. And, so, I'm going to, respect them for that and put them at number 2. And they are currently also playing kind of with Randoms on Cadia. And so I'm going to, once Cadia continues to develop, I might... take Falcon off of that if they're not really playing Nordic, but, we'll see what happens. But regardless, Falcon at number 2, and then obviously Randoms at number 1. I think they've been very consistent. They've won the last, 3 or 4 KD maps, I believe, and they're winning this one right now. It's going to be very close. If they can pull it around and win again, I mean, there's just no denying that they are number 1. But yeah, I think I'm going to put them at number 1. I think these, rankings are pretty good. If you'll notice, yes, I did not include Rangas. In the top 5. They did win PvP labs, but, their pure roster without Falcon, I don't think really would have lasted too long on the map. But I don't think that's a skill thing. It's a numbers thing. They just didn't have people to really compete for longer than the last couple days that they needed to. All right, now moving into the MVP and Clown of the Week. First up is Clown of the Week. Basically, from this KD map, there is a clip here that I'll play.
Hold the tunnel, don't get pushed in.
How are you guys dropping, bro? Watch your fucking hearts. Watch your hearts. How is it that hard? I quickened. Never mind. It's server side.
That's not work, bro.
Yeah, it's so bad.
That was funny.
He was getting mad at us, dude. He was getting mad at us.
And it's basically, it's a funny clip. It's inverting just kind of some instant karma, per se. So it's a funny little thing. Clown of the Week goes to the king himself, inverting. All right, now MVP of the week, I mentioned them earlier. I'm actually going to give it to a group of people. quote unquote the PEPPA kids. I'm going to give them the MVP of the week because frankly, it seems like they are the determining factor of this map on Minecadia. Basically, they left Avengers and Avengers fell apart. They couldn't really keep up with anyone. And then after that, they joined back to Avengers, and now Avengers is working their way to winning. I think that it's, pretty obvious that the PEPPA kids are the deciding factor. Whoever they're playing with is going to win the map. And so I'm going to give them the MVP of the week, not because of, anything they did particular, but just the fact that they are the most valuable group during this week. So yeah, that's pretty much everything here. It might be a little bit of a quicker video than normal. But once again, next week I'll get straight back into the way, I used to with covering every server that was going on. It was just, I just felt like there wasn't a ton to go over that was relevant during this week. But, it is what it is. I'm hoping to do weekly again. I've said this a couple times and haven't kept up with it, but I'm here for the rest of the summer, so hopefully that is the case. So I will see you all on the next episode. Peace.